Get excited. Get excited.
Woo!
It's Top 10 Tuesday.
Top 10 Tuesday.
Top 10 Tuesday.
Top 10 Tuesday.
Get excited.
Oh, yeah.
My team is better.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
You know what? I think we're going to take a vote when it's all said and done. I need to lower this so I can not scream into the mic. Sorry. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really excited. Top 10 Tuesday.
I'm excited too.
I actually had a good time putting this together.
It's fun.
Like sitting there and being like, well, yeah, I remember him, but how much do I really remember him? You know, and then look at like, no, this is one of my favorite times. Like my pitcher is probably not one of the best ever that played during our generation.
But that's the thing. It's whoever
but
you
he
like.
was one of my favorites.
And that's all that matters.
So
I actually got a starting 5 rotation.
oh, that's not fair.
Bro, because you know me. I love baseball, bro. So I went into it. I went into this.
Fair enough. I respect
I actually
that.
made a lineup and everything.
Did you put it in like the order they're going to draft?
Yeah.
Or draft.
That
In the
they're
order
gonna
they're
hit.
going to bat?
Yeah.
Yeah, for damn sure I didn't do that. Yeah. No, definitely did not do that. But I still have fun doing it, man. It was funny while I was going through this. All right. For those of you that don't know, Joey, why don't you explain to people exactly what we did?
Well, what exactly is going on? Normally, Top 10 Tuesday is exactly what it means. Normally, we take a list compiled of anything and make a top 10 list out of it. This week, though, I decided to get a little creative because I'm a huge baseball fanatic and it is now baseball season at its prime. I wanted to do a top 10 baseball fantasy lineup, pretty much. From the time you were born till currently. You know, you put together your fantasy lineup of your favorite players.
So pretty much we went from 1985.
Yes, I went from 85 to current. So did you. And pretty much I just wanted to know, first baseman, second baseman, shortstop, third, a catcher, 3 outfielders, a DH. That gives you 9. And give me what starting pitcher you would have thrown out there for one game if you needed somebody. That's all I was really looking for. Dave,
Oh, yeah. Oh, I get to go first on this one.
Do you want to give us, what do you want to do? First, second, short?
Let's, you want to start at the outfield and work our way in?
All right, that works. Do the 3 outfielders.
We'll end with our catcher, and then we'll do our DH and pitcher last.
Sounds good.
All right, cool.
Oh, real quick before you get started, if you want to join us with our top 10 list, you can always insert them onto our fan page at www.facebook.com/sportszone on Club Zone. And Dave just put it in the chat room for anybody who wants to go in there. Or, you can always you can tweet it to us, you can Facebook it to us, or go to www.thisissportzone.com and somehow, some way put it on there. Comment on something, whatever. Doesn't matter. We want to know your lists. That's all.
Pretty much. That summed it up right there. That was very easy and simple. And I posted in our chat room as well. You can go post it on our fan page on Facebook. And those listening on the TuneIn Radio app and ClubZone.fm app, we would also love for you to get a chance to go up there and do it. So please do. And with that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to start in the outfield, work our way in. And
work our way in. Sounds good.
Go from there. So my outfield will consist of... At left field, we're going to play Mr. Ricky Henderson.
Wow, Ricky.
In right field, we are going to play Sir Tony Gwynn.
Look at you with Tony Gwynn. I didn't even know you knew Tony Gwynn.
Of course, Mr. Minnesota Twins, right?
No,
no,
that's Kirby Puckett.
It's Kirby Puckett. I'm sorry, I looked at so many names last night. I'm sorry. My bad.
It's cool.
I did. I took time with this. I promise.
Cool.
I didn't just wing it together.
Mr.
Though.
San Diego Padre himself. One of the best hitters I've ever seen in Tony Gwynn.
And then obviously, last but not least, probably my favorite player on this entire list, arguably my favorite player of all time.
Of ever.
Sir Ken Griffey Jr.
Damn, bro, that's a solid 3 outfielders, dude.
I used to. My favorite part of him was when he hit home runs.
Dude,
he just had such a
that beautiful
swagger.
swing, dude.
I
like
got
that you
my
called him
swagger back.
I like that you said swagger, because that's exactly what he had back then. It was swagger, man. Ricky Henderson in left. What made you go with Ricky? He is only the best leadoff hitter of all time in baseball.
You know what it was? I was looking at outfielders as a grouping, and out of all the names I saw, he was the one guy that I could sit here and say I remember truly watching him play. Watching him steal bases, watching him take that, when he set the record or whatever and put the base over his head. And, I remember watching that. So for me...
I am the greatest of all time.
Yeah, for me, it's like I just felt like he gave me good memories as a kid watching baseball. And I just, like I said, let's be honest here. There's probably better guys. There's worse guys. There's guys just as good. Ricky Henderson just seemed right to me.
And why would anybody argue with Ricky Henderson? Let's be real. Ricky Henderson is one of the greatest players to come through baseball. Dave, that's your leadoff hitter right there. He's solid. And Tony Gwynn, I think Tony Gwynn was the last player to hit 380 in a season. So he's been the closest guy to come pretty damn close to hitting 400.
So I'll get Ricky and Gwynn on base and then let Griffey bring him in.
Sounds good to me. I like your 3 outfielders already. I do. Wow. Pixel goes...
Pixel, you weren't alive when Mickey Mantle played baseball.
How old is Pixel Junkie? Do we know?
That's true.
We don't know that.
That's a valid
point. I said
point.
your generation. For all I know, Pixel's a 6-year-old man and did see Mickey Mantle. I have no idea. My outfielder, I went... How can I not go with the home run king? Barry Bonds. Give me Barry Bonds in left field, baby.
Wow.
Give me Mr. 500 on base percentage where he's going to hit 75 home runs. Give me the roids.
Not worried about it, baby. Give me the roids. Right now. Pixel's 80.
He's not 80. If he was 80,
he's not 80.
Yeah, if he was 80, he wouldn't know how to work the chat room.
This is valid. That's probably a really good point.
So I got Barry Bonds in left. I took your boy, my boy as well, one of my all-time favorite players in Ken Griffey Jr. for center field. I love Ken Griffey Jr. If he never went to Cincinnati, I'm still convinced he would have gotten 800 home runs. And probably would have been the home run leader. If he was able to stay
healthy, I mean, let's be honest, he has
Dude,
so many...
he was on a tear. He was on a tear while he was with Seattle. And then my right fielder is a little different. I actually have Tony Gwynn written down. I have Manny Ramirez written down, as well as Ricky Henderson, but I didn't go with any of those. I went with Larry Walker. Larry Walker. And I also had Vladimir Guerrero, too, written down. It came down between Vladimir or Larry Walker. Vladimir Guerrero, to me, is one of the great hitters. He could hit it anywhere. It could bounce off the plate, and he would still hit it for a single or for a double. He was phenomenal. But Larry Walker is by far probably one of the most underrated players to play. I know he is a Hall of Famer, but he's a career 330 hitter. Not 330, probably 320 hitter, 315. His career in Colorado was amazing. And the one thing that you really didn't think about him, he had a cannon right arm in right field. A cannon. So, you think, oh, he's just slacking off to get the ball. No, he was baiting you to go to second base so he can gun your ass down. So I like my defense that I have with Larry Walker, Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey. I like the bats that they bring, especially since they can all hit for a high average. Boom. Those are my 3.
I like that. Barry Bonds, Larry Walker, and of course, Ken Griffey Jr. I mean,
it isn't iffy if it's not Griffey. All right. Infielder. What? It's not iffy if it's not Griffey.
That was great, bud. You're my fave.
All right, so you want to go first, second, short?
First, second, short? That sounds like a good way to go.
First, second, short.
That sounds like a really great way to go, my friend. So that's what we're going to go. First, second, and short. So what we're going to do is at shortstop. I don't know why I decided to go shortstop first over first.
Doesn't matter.
But whatever. At shortstop, just because of the simple fact the guy's played for my entire life, And I respect the way he goes about being a superstar athlete more than probably I've ever seen any athlete, and that includes some of my childhood favorites. Michael Jordan was my favorite athlete of all time, but when it came down to being a role model and the perfect guy, let's be honest, the guy was a jerk for the most part to a lot of people.
He was not a perfect role model.
No, so, and even I can admit that. But I still, I always love the guy. I know what kind of, you can tell what kind of person he came across as. You don't know, whatever. Anyway, so Sir Derek Jeter is my shortstop. And, you said to me Ricky Henderson would be my leadoff guy. So would I bounce back and forth between Jeter and Henderson, or let Jeter bat second, or let Henderson bat second, or...
Well, Jeter...
Henderson I would want first, most likely for the fact that he can steal me bases.
Yes.
Without having to worry about,
You want Jeter to either be your 2-hitter or your 9-hitter.
Okay, so...
depending on who else you have, of
Okay.
course. But, the philosophy that the Yankees bring to the table is let's have 2 leadoff hitters as your 1 and 9, so... you start the game off right, and then once you get to the 9, it's like you're having to face 2 leadoff hitters.
I respect that.
But I agree with Pixel. Pixel says Jeter second. I would probably put Jeter second as well.
Okay, great pick, Mr. I had to pick Jeter. If I not putting Jeter on my list. Now, keep in mind, one of the things me and Joey talked about, ladies and gentlemen, is that he had Jeter on his list, but might have changed it, might not have changed it. He didn't let me know what decision he went. But... Jeter was on his list, but he wanted to have a different team.
I want a different team than
you.
you.
So I don't know if he changed it or not changed it.
The only person I didn't change is Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah, so don't get mad at Joe if Derek Jeter's not there. All right, he just wanted to switch it up. All right, he loves Jeter just as much as any Yankee fan. At first base, all right. Now I actually Googled top first baseman in MLB history.
Okay.
First 3 names are guys I don't even know if I've ever heard of before. Okay, so it just did not ring a bell at first. And then number 4 was a guy that's still playing today.
It's got to be Pujols.
It was. And I'm like, really? I'm like, he's considered
that
good
bro.
in baseball history already?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be the guy that's like, oh, well, I'm just going to take Albert Pujols because he's like
That's
the
what I
most
said.
famous name in baseball.
That's what I said to myself, bro.
I didn't want to be that guy. Yeah, I just didn't, right? So I scroll down a little more, and then I see Jim Tomei as a name that's up there, right?
Yes.
And I'm like, if Joey's looking at this same list as me, I think Joey would go Tomei over Pujols just because of how much he loves Jim Tomei. So I'm going to go with Albert Pujols.
Nice.
So
Nicely done.
I have Albert Pujols as my first baseman. And then, yes, sir, Mr. Roberto Alomar.
Alomar was money,
baseman.
bro. He was so good.
Even I know how good Roberto Alomar
Roberto
was.
Alomar was a beast for the Indians. And then,
Wow.
And then he signed a free agent deal for, Baltimore. Then he went to the Mets, and he sucked for the Mets, but still, he was a beast for Baltimore and Cleveland.
I like Pixel says give me Pete Rose at first. That's not a bad option.
Oh, no way.
I mean, all the hits he had. And
Dude, he's the all-time leader in hits.
Yeah, when it comes down to being a baseball player, he was great. It was just what he did as time, off the field sort of that affected on the field. I don't know how to phrase that.
Joe Morgan at second. Wow, Pixel. Now you're showing your age.
So,
right.
yeah. So that's shortstop Jeter, first base Albert Pujols, second base Roberto Alomar.
Damn. All right. My first baseman, I was actually thinking Albert Pujols. I was thinking Jim Tomei as well. I didn't go with any of those guys.
Really?
I figured I owed it to one of my all-time favorite Yankees to put him on the list. Donnie Baseball, a.k.a. Don Mattingly.
I had
to put Don Mattingly on the list. Dude, he's phenomenal. He's a Gold Glove first baseman back in the 80s. I think he won AL MVP back in the 80s. Dude, Don Mattingly has a special place in my heart. So therefore, he gets a special place in this fantasy lineup, especially since he can just rake the ball. Love it. Don Mattingly at first. Second baseman. I'm actually shocked you didn't say this guy. Because this guy, I clearly remember, one of the best second basemen, in my opinion, that we've seen, Jeff Kent.
Okay.
Jeff Kent was a home run machine, bro. Always popped out like 30 home runs every single year. Always. I loved seeing him get into a fight with Barry Bonds back in with the Giants like 10 years ago, maybe even longer than that. But yeah, anywhere he went, he was just a significant player. I really did like Jeff Kent a lot. And shortstop, I didn't change my mind. I'm going to stick with Derek Jeter. I was going to change it up to either Nomar Garcia-Parra back in the day, or A-Rod, or Barry Larkin.
Sure, I feel like shortstop had a lot of options.
There are a lot of options.
But Jeter just
how do you not go with Jeter? He's the classiest player I've ever come across. Plus, he's Mr. Yankee now. Also, I'd pick him over A-Rod anyway. I'm sorry, I don't like A-Rod. I'm not an A-Rod fan, even though he's on the Yankees. I root for him because he's on the Yankees, but that's about as far as it. And yeah, you're right, Pixel. Jeter is a smart shortstop. He makes the easy plays look easy. He makes the hard plays look easy as well.
Love Derek Jeter. I don't care, dude. I could hate the Yankees full-heartedly, and Derek Jeter for me, like, the Yankees and Mets could play in the World Series this year, and I'll still stand there and root for Derek Jeter to get a hit.
Gotta root for
Outside
Derek.
of that, I won't root for the Yankees, but I will still root for Jeter because you gotta respect what the guy does.
All right, so now we need your third baseman, your catcher, and your DH.
Third baseman. I think every single one of you guys, you, Joey D, Pixel, Jeremy, I think all you guys are gonna like my third baseman, Mr. Wade Boggs.
Wade Boggs, yeah.
I thought
he was money player.
Not only did I remember watching Wade Boggs play, but I started looking at the ridiculous amount of stuff he did in his MLB career.
Ridiculous.
Like, you're just like, 12-time All-Star. Oh, 4-time All-Star this, 5-time this, 6-time that, 3-time this, 12-time. And I'm like, so, okay. And I watched you play? Yeah, I think you deserve my list.
Yeah, that's a great pick right there, Dave.
So Wade Boggs gets my third base. Dude, these teams are sick.
They are sick, right?
Wade Boggs gets my third base. And then, you said it to me yesterday.
I figured you wouldn't have thought of him off the top of the dome.
And I had to go with him just, all the years as a Met, helped lead the Mets to the Subway Series. Mr. Mike Piazza.
Yeah,
I had to go with Mike Piazza. I had to. He really just, I got a clapping from Pixel Junkie for Mr. Boggs. I like that.
I agree with that, too. Boggs is a great pick.
Did he really have a bucket of chicken before every game?
He was superstitious, yes.
That is awesome. Like what? Just like a little 4-piece thing, or you have no idea?
I know.
He just munched on some chicken. And
I knew that I'm pretty positive he had to eat fried chicken before every game.
That is awesome. What a great habit to have. Fried chicken rocks, so I have no issue with that at all. So yeah, Piazza, Wade Boggs.
Piazza is a Hall of Famer, a great player for the Dodgers, amazing player for the Mets.
I felt like when it came down to what he did in baseball, though, he wasn't like the greatest at anything. He just was really good at everything. Is that fair to say about Mike Piazza?
Yeah, that's very fair.
I don't feel like, you ever sat there and really said about him, man, you are the best this right now.
You know what? Piazza is probably, I don't know, actually. Piazza is one of the best catchers to ever play.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, like he just was always really, really good at everything. Yeah. So I'm a big Piazza fan. And then, the DH thing was a little interesting to try and find. Okay?
I was a little intrigued with the DH.
It's hard to, because you just sit there and, Big Papi's are really good. Big Papi, to me, once Manny Ramirez left Boston, took him, 2 years to get back into, like,
a year or two.
Into, just being who he was, and not having him there. So, I'm sitting there, I'm going through things, I'm like, who do I go? And I'm all of a sudden, boom, this name
popped into your head.
This name looks in front, it shows up on the list of names I'm looking at. I'm like, hey, I think he played DH. Like, click on the name.
What's the name?
Me. Oh, I'm building it up. Spent the majority of his early career at right field, but the only World Series he won, he was the designated hitter for the team. And that man, actually the team was the Toronto Blue Jays. The year was 1992.
Oh, I think I know where you're going with this.
The player's name was Sir Dave Winfield.
What's up with that?
Yeah, dude, you don't remember the beastly mustache he used to rock? My man's mustache just like beasted off of his lip. It was a boom.
That was funny as hell seeing you like
boom.
Oh,
the
Lord.
Dave Winfield boom. Only World Series of his career. Played designated hitter for 120 out of the 162 game season. Played DH the majority of the playoffs. And you know what? I felt like even though his whole career wasn't DH, which I don't think many guys do their whole career as just a DH.
Now you'll start seeing it like that.
A little more, but you know, especially during his time.
My dude kind of set the bar at that.
Okay, well, Dave Winfield is my designated hitter. So that gives me Wade Boggs at third, Mike Piazza at catcher, and Mr. Dave Winfield as my designated hitter.
Yep. Wow, you got a good team so far, bro. So my third baseman.
Because mine's better.
My third baseman is somebody we both grew up with. It's Chipper Jones. I think Chipper Jones is one of the best third basemen I've seen, especially in the prime of his career. When
Almost did him. So close.
Especially since in the prime of his career, he was winning like Gold Gloves and he was jacking like 40 homers out. He was the man. I could have gone A-Rod, but I'm sorry. He spent half of his career at third, and again, I'm not the biggest A-Rod fan. Could have went Cal Ripken Jr. Another honorable mention is actually Eric Chavez. Eric Chavez, for at least my
You know how hard
generation.
it was not to get Cal Ripken Jr. on this list?
Yeah.
Like, I had to look at myself like about 3 different times and be like,
Can't. I would rather have Chipper than Cal.
see, and that's the thing. I always felt like, I thought Cal Ripken, see, this is my lack of baseball knowledge. I thought Cal Ripken played a lot of shortstop
He
for
did.
Baltimore.
And then he moved over to third base.
Okay,
He
see,
did.
to me, I'm thinking Cal Ripken shortstop, and I'm like, Derek Jeter's the only, like, he's the only guy that I could put above a Cal Ripken
Yeah.
Jr., you know what I mean? Like, to me,
know
that's
what you
what
mean.
Derek Jeter is in my eyes. That's how I
class.
look at this guy.
Yeah, so I got Chipper at third. My catcher is Pudge, Ivan Pudge Rodriguez. Probably I don't know how to debate about best hitting catcher because Piazza's right up there with him. Johnny Bench is one of the best catchers to ever play the game as well. But Pudge really was an amazing catcher for a couple different teams. He played most of his career with Texas before they finally let him go. But Pudge was amazing, dude. I remember, I think one year he batted.
He had a gun.
Yeah, he was great defensively. Could bat 330 and hit you 30 homers. So he was my pick at catcher. And then DH, Pixel Junkie, stealing my thunder in the chat room, Edgar Martinez. Edgar Martinez was basically the first full-time DH who actually was awesome as the full-time DH. Batting like 330 to 350, hitting you 25 to 30 home runs. And the best part about him, one time I think he played 40 games at third base and he won the Gold Glove.
That's sick.
Bro.
That should not happen.
Right? How you play like 40 games and win the Gold Glove?
That should not happen. You know what I'm loving about looking at our list right now?
What's that?
Is that the 2 guys that me and you do agree on, I think almost everybody that grew up in our age range would agree on.
Pixel Junkie in the chat room asks, where is Mark Big Mac McGuire? Sorry, I like a guy who can hit me 300 and hit about 20 to 30 homers. That's why I got Donnie Baseball. Mark McGuire would hit about 260, 270, give you 40, 50 homers. But I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. Donnie Baseball has a special place in my heart. That's why Donnie Baseball's over Mark McGuire.
And I just never was a big Mark McGuire fan. I like Albert Pujols more.
McGuire was so much fun to watch.
See, I liked Sosa more. Like when they had their little home run battle, I was rooting for Sosa.
He had the little hop with the home run.
Yeah.
He had the little hop.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
Canseco. Screw Jose Canseco.
Who do you have for your pitcher?
I wrote down 2 names. And both these names these were guys that I had to make sure I had their baseball cards, like watch them pitch. Like it just meant a lot to me watching these guys. So I picked Dwight Gooden.
Nice. Dwight Gooden's a great pitcher.
And then the other name I wrote down just because of the fact that I just always loved him too, David Cone.
Nice.
Those, and it was hard not to do like Roger Clemens. It was hard not to do some other guys, but those two guys were the two that, when it came down to my life growing up watching baseball, meant the most to me to watch. So
I will not hate on that at all.
Yeah, those were my two guys. I only went with one. Joey didn't get into this whole we're doing a rotation thing here.
Nah.
I was waiting. Once you said that, I'm like waiting for you to be like, well, I got relievers, I got a closer.
Dude, I got relievers off the top of my dome I could just spit off.
Man.
You figure we'd both have Mariano if that was the case.
This is Mariano Rivera probably would be. We'd both be like, boom. That's done.
Boom. So Dwight Gooden, what does Dwight Gooden and David Code both have in common?
They both played for.
There's a lot of similarities actually.
Yeah,
they both played for both New York teams.
Yeah, I'm like they both played for both New York teams. I know that for damn sure.
I believe they both pitched either a perfect game or no hitter for the Yankees, not for the Mets.
No, of course they didn't, because we just watched that first one for the Mets.
They both won World Series with the Yankees.
Not with the Mets.
I think Gooden was part of the '86 team. I think so.
He was. He was young as all hell when he was.
Coney might have been a part of that team too, but I don't physically know.
All right, well, while you read off your pitching starting lineup, I'm going to find out who was on the '86 Mets roster.
Sounds good. Here is my starting five. Yeah, that's right, baby. Starting five for Joey D's fantasy team. Got, obviously, Roger Clemens, one of the best pitchers to ever play the game. Cheated or not, doesn't matter. People say that he's one of the best. Randy Johnson, gave me him as my number 2. Randy Johnson was 6'10" phenom. Striking out 300 dudes.
Randy Johnson, without a doubt, would have been in my starting 5. No question.
Randy Johnson.
It was hard not to write him down.
Number 3, I got Pedro Martinez, bro. Pedro was so dirty. So dirty. Had one of the best seasons ever as a pitcher. I think he had like a 1.87 ERA, struck out close to 300 people, and had like 200 innings of work. He was phenomenal. Number 4, Greg Maddux. Wow.
Obvious.
And number 5, I didn't go with Smoltz or Glavine or even like Kurt Schilling. I went with someone who's been dominant over the past 10 years in baseball. I went Roy Halladay as my number 5.
Wow.
Right? Roy Halladay deserves to be up there.
That's actually a hell of a little... I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't want to get into a playoff, 5-game playoff series.
Imagine seeing Roger Clemens, Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez, Greg Maddux, and Roy Halladay coming at you.
As a coach, you just look at that and be like...
Shenanigans. Shenanigans.
You just start cursing yourself. It just wouldn't be good. It just would not be good. I'm sorry. I thought MLB.com would be able to make it easier for me.
So that finishes off our Top 10 Tuesday, our fantasy little draft there. That was a lot of fun for me anyway. Dave, did you have fun with that?
I did.
Awesome. Now, you guys can all join in on Top 10 Tuesdays as well. Remember, put in your list on thisissportzone.com or go to facebook.com/sportszone on Club Zone. That is our fan page. You can post your top 10 there. All right?